Right now. Well, morning. It's Wednesday with Wendell. That's right. It's 11:29 a.m. That's right.
Not
July the 27th a.m. That's right. And here at 418 People Street, downtown Corpus Christi, here at RAD, R-A-D Octopus Studio, with CEO and CFO Felicia Gomez Simpson.
Hello.
And then I have my program manager. She's back from special assignment, Jennifer Regal. And my today's guest is Councilman Ben Molina. Thank you, sir, for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I really do appreciate it.
Yes,
From
sir.
your busy schedule, we're going to keep it nice and cozy here. Like, you got plenty of things to do. Not that it's any of my business, but still. The only thing I'm going to say to you that I'll ask you right now, you're not going up for re-election, from my understanding.
That is correct.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Is there any personal reasons why you just want to devote more time to your family and?
Yeah, I've been at it for 6 years, and in the 6 years, we can serve up to 4 terms, which is 2 years each. And in those 6 years that I've been there, I've accomplished a lot of the things that I had set out to accomplish in District 2.
Right.
So I've checked off a lot of those boxes, and it is time consuming. It is dedication, and I've missed out on a lot of opportunities with friends and family that I'd like to take advantage of.
And so what does District 2, what is that, what is District 2?
Well, it's a new District 2 now. We went through the redistricting process, so every 10 years we take the census data, and we try to make it to where each city district, right now we have 5, but we want to make those equal in population as far as the size goes. And so District 2, for the longest time, because of all the growth that we've seen in other areas of the city, was one of the smallest districts. And so now to update the districts, District 2 had to increase in size as far as the boundary goes, to capture that population. And District 4 and 5, which is the island, Flower Bluff, and the South Side, which has seen exponential growth, had to reduce in size. So what you saw is the older parts of the city, those districts absorbed some of the newer parts, and so basically
Is
the
it
districts,
spread
yeah. So the districts kind of shifted to the side, and so District 1, 2, and 3, all 3 of them grew, and 4 and 5 shrank in size.
Okay, and for right now, well, I live in the Hillcrest area, and a lot of time people come ask me, well, we thought that you got bought out. Now, well, basically when it came about, it was for a voluntary relocation, and if you went in the direct path of the new Harbor Bridge, you didn't have to worry about anything, and people that, because the 4 entities that had anything to do with us was the city of Corpus Christi, the port of Corpus Christi, HUD, and TxDOT, Texas Department of Transportation, and those entities there. HUD came in and out, they did what they had to do, but now all of a sudden we have safety concerns on the Harbor Bridge after spending, well, from what Flatiron Regattas made, $778 million right now. And for the first time it's estimated for the bridge to be built, $828 million. So we're looking at $50 million that still needs to be done, and my main concern is that whoever designed it, and for me, I guess they thought everybody was going to be gone out of Hillcrest, but that's not such. Because the one bus route that I ride on, one that came with you traveling on Winnebago Street, once you cross Port, you can go all the way to North Staples. And that was a good timing factor for the time concern for the bus route. But they cut that off. They cut off Broadway. Now they even cut off Lefford.
Is that your
basically
fault?
across town.
Did you do this?
No, the city had a part to play, but a lot of it was planning through TxDOT and trying to design where that new bridge was going.
And I guess my point is that people then, whoever designed and everything, they didn't really look at the really major structure of it, basically, of what, to get access from one point to another. And I think RTA is having a problem with that just on this one particular bus route, that we have. And so now, since they have safety concerns, they went back from the original, I guess they had a year or two, where they laid off 240 workers. Now, do they report anything to the city council about what they were doing or anything? Y'all get any updates on the bridge itself or any safety reasons that y'all have any feeling about, well, who's doing it, who's planning this, and
Well,
process?
we get the city gets periodic updates from Flatiron Drug Autos. But from what I understand, this latest issue, the project was stopped because TxDOT halted the project, not Flatiron.
Okay.
But even then, when we had that period of time where construction was halted previously, we would get bits and pieces from Flatiron Drug Autos, the contractor, and as many times as we had asked for any type of milestone dates, they wouldn't give us those dates. So anytime that we asked when the project would kick back up again, they couldn't give us any dates. They couldn't give us any completion dates. And so now, for what, I'm not aware of what the exact cause for concern is.
Yeah.
They haven't reported that to us
Right.
or updated us. So I really don't know.
But you'll
Right.
tell us when you find out.
It's public information as soon as it's
Yes.
up to us.
Yeah.
The past few updates that we've gotten were from Flatiron. It was emails that were sent to us, and those emails are public information.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, and that information is
Well,
accessible.
I had a talk with, I know Lynn Allison. It was right when they first started everything. She's a spokesperson for Flatiron.
Yeah.
And had several talks with even a couple of the port commissions. I don't know if Dick Bowers is still there or not on the port commission. I was talked to Dick Balls, and it's a lot of things. But Dick Bowers has stated that Hillcrest was the wasteland, of Corpus Christi. And I figured, to me personally,
Yeah.
I figured, how could that be? Because, if anybody know anything about the situation, before it was Flint Hill, refinery was called right there, it was Southwest Refinery. And I know they had a tank that leaked from 1960 to 1973 that killed all the fruit of life in Hillcrest. When I'm talking about fruit of life, I'm talking about the palm trees. I'm talking about pecan trees, orange trees, tangerine trees, plum granny trees, loquat with Chinese plums, just a lot of things that kill all the fruit of life. And so then when it came up, actually when things happening, a civil lawsuit was filed against them through this law firm that, contamination of the land, which came up to be a Title VI. And that's the reason why some refinery, well, you got this here, so some of y'all already got money. But there's a lot of money that came about, and me being raised out, I'm living in the house that I was raised in. A lot of people have moved out and things like that for certain reasons, and just a few of us that really stayed, because to me, Hillcrest is the highest elevated point in Corpus Christi. Any geologist will tell you that. And knowing that the way that they have it set up, the mapping, how it's going over, right there by Waterburger Field, right there and come on across is in the marshland. Because it's all wetland right there. And having done foundation repair work, I know that when you drill a hole, time to drill a pour for foundation, if you hit a water table at 10 feet, you got a problem. So you drill on each side of the house, north, south, east, and west. If you got a 1 foot water table, that foundation is bad. Here, for this type of project, if you hit a water table at 10 feet, you got a problem. And that's what I think has been reoccurring, but they just don't want to tell us. I'm that type of person. Tell me the truth. Let me know what to deal with it. Sure about it. Create chaos. Because this is supposed to be the largest cable suspension bridge in North America, meaning it's never been done before.
Yeah.
Okay, so the safety concerns there, I guess the part where they finally going to pick the big part of it over across the basin, the channel, and just, because all I want to do now is clear up everything, crosstown, Leopard, all the way to the Oasis Bay and 37. Clear that up, I'll be okay with it, but, the thing is,
Yes,
if they
Mr.
really
Wendell
want us to
demands.
move out, because from my understanding, what's the word on the desalination plant that they want to put over there right around the Oasis Bay and Broadway? You know anything about that, or heard anything about that?
Yeah, so the city has a couple of permit applications. They have two permit applications out right now with the state, which are being reviewed. Concurrently, the Port of Corpus Christi has two separate permit applications. And the idea is that when we're in a drought right now, and
Right.
I'm not sure how long it's going to last.
Yeah.
But and we don't know. We know it's going to rain. We just don't know when. But we can count on the fact that we will see a drought in the future.
Right.
There's no doubt about that. So what are the steps that we can take today to help prepare for that? It's our duty as the regional water supplier to make sure that we have available water for not just the city of Corpus Christi, but the surrounding areas. there's a lot of information out there about desal. There's a lot of misinformation out there about desal.
Right.
But ultimately, the reason I'm supportive of it is because it's incumbent upon us to make sure that we have a reliable drought-resistant water supply for the region. With all the misinformation out there, it's easy to get confused, especially if you're only listening to one source.
Right.
But the city has 2 permit applications out right now. One is for the Inner Harbor, which is near the port area,
Right.
and one is at La Quinta, which is
Okay.
out by Ingleside.
Right.
And the idea is, if one application gets permitted and the other doesn't, we have that redundancy. If they both get approved, that doesn't mean that we're going to build both at the same time.
Right.
And same thing with the port. What it means is that we have, at that point, we can choose which one would be a better fit for that time.
I agree, and I can look at it because, I'm a Navy veteran, and, for us, when we was out there at sea, the water that we use is the salt water that they turn into, drinking water, with these plant and everything that they had, the chemicals that was going on, fresh water to bathe in, for the cooking, for people to cook, and catapult, got to have that steam to catapult. I was on 2 aircraft carriers. So my point being is that I don't think it's a bad thing. You're always going to have pros and cons. You're going to have the good, the bad, and the ugly with things. You just got to deal with things accordingly now. And I think a lot of people get upset, and sometimes it is the big line is money. Some people, well, I want this money for this, for doing this, and for doing that, because like I said, there's a very wealthy man once told me, he says, well, if it's not making dollars, it doesn't make sense. And so I can see that too, but also doing the right thing for the people, for the community. Because a lot of people, well, it would do this, it would be that. Well, just like if you got to dredge out to channel, it's going to bring up all that spilled crude oil that's been down there, and sure, things are going to happen, and it's just, I hope things work out, and I had to bring that up to you. But how about the water restrictions going on now? I heard that the city vehicles are out and about, and if you're watering your grass when you're not supposed to at a specific time, they're just going to send you a big fine. You get it that day, where they write you that day, and then you have so much time, or they're going to wait and see.
No, you die, Wendell.
Yeah,
Well,
die.
it makes sense. I mean, if you're in a drought and you're watering, there are consequences
Yeah.
we need to be conserving. So,
And the Lake Corpus Christi levels is low, and
low.
things
Yeah,
like
very
that,
low.
and,
I mean,
and
even the river-
everywhere is dry. Basically, tarantulas coming up out of the hole saying what's going on. So, and now since that reinforcement, now to me another thing, you've been on with the city council, and to me with the vehicles, you see natural gas, and I'm a firm believer. The city always right there. They can, city of Corpus Christi driving around is not that big. As far as square miles, yeah. But it's driving around from each neighborhood, because I'm a transporter. I'm in that type of situation there, and I've driven around all over Corpus. It's not that hard to get around.
Yeah.
My point being, it's just like when people moved out of Hillcrest. A lot of them left their pets, dogs, cats, and even some people left birds. Some person left a snake. It got ate, not by me personally, but I'm just. But a lot of dogs and cats. So I had a friend of mine that she takes in these animals. Cats stay outside, but she had her own little chihuahuas and take her own dogs, and she got fined because of all these dogs. And that was one particular time where I guess the city said, "Hey, y'all need to." They told the animal control go out and do your job. But you gotta. I only see them once in a while. Very rare when I come pick up some taquachis, which are possums. In the street, they wouldn't come. So my point that sometimes when they delegate those, no, they wouldn't come pick them up.
Oh, I thought you meant they wouldn't come to you when you called them.
No, well, they wouldn't come pick up them from possums in the street. No, but things like that. I think to me personally, I like for people to be held accountable for your actions. It's not that, well, you got so much to do, but if you got that time, especially a supervisor, you go around and check things around and put back and try to make things to work. That's how I think that a city should be.
Yeah.
How many times when you got elected, do y'all have a vehicle that for city council members to go in and actually see what's going on, how the streets are, these potholes that we have, what's going on? Then y'all get out and check that out, or do
You use
y'all
your
ride
own
with
car?
RTA?
no way. He's on the top.
and just get things together, you know, like RTA, you know, the bus transit system, which we have the cheapest fares, and I'm gonna say in the world as for, you know,
Yeah.
the transportation. Some things happen, some restrictions, certain areas are really bad, you know, especially where I'm at, it's like boom, boom, bam, bam, if you got bad dentures, you know, they'll come out, man, but, you know, my point being is that I think the city just needs to work it just a little bit more, and people need to more concerned. Just because you don't live in Hillcrest don't mean you don't have to like it. I don't live on the island of Bluff, but, you know, I don't mind it. You know, it's part of Corpus Christi.
Yeah.
We represent well, you know, and it's a big thing. And, you know, being raised and born here, did you graduate from high school here?
Yes.
Okay, where?
Yeah, King High School.
Okay, King High School, and I graduated from Miller. You know, Flower Bluff, and you were Prairie. But the point is that we all here in the coastal Bend area trying to help one another, and I think people just need to step the game up a little bit and be more positive, and try to get less butt hurt and you know, offended by things that people say. Now, with the city, you always got to be polite in what you say. I'm a firm believer that everybody's not gonna like you. They don't have to like you, as long as you can get the job done. You know, personally, without disrespecting people or, you know, trying to what they call mudslinging. You know, because no disrespect to you, but I'm not a political parasite. You know, and what I mean by that is sometimes people get a hold of people and they just, no, we're going to do it this way and that's it. You know, let's work both things out. If you haven't actually experienced or done it, why can't you talk on it? You know, and that's one big force about that. And
Did I hear you correctly? Did you say that there's term limits for Corpus City Council?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So the city council term is 2 years, and as a district member or an at-large member, you can serve up to 4 terms.
That's it.
And
Right.
that's it. Yeah, unless at that point you run for mayor after that term is ended, and then if you run and win and get reelected, you can serve up to 4 more years, which is 2 more terms. So it's a total potentially of up to 12 years.
It's
Yeah.
not like that.
And I guess a lot of people in the city do a lot of networking. A lot of people go to a lot of events, people that you might meet. Now, as far as monetarily means, it's not all that.
No.
No.
And
And that's the reason why. And with your company, and what do you own, or what you got going on?
So I'm a small business owner, and we've been blessed. We've been fortunate enough that it allows me the wherewithal to be able to come out and serve the community. It helps that I do have a business partner who has been very supportive of my efforts, and so he handles a lot of the day-to-day operations there
Okay.
at the business. But we're at a point where I'm able to step away and actually focus my efforts on serving the community.
Okay, and it's good at now roofing. That's
Yeah,
no
yeah.
joke. This time of the year, it's no joke.
So I don't. I'm careful not to use my political office as a sales platform.
Right.
So whenever people ask what I do for a living, I say I'm a small business owner.
Okay.
And unless
They
I'm
need
not
your services.
I'm not trying to hide it.
Right.
But I try to be careful about that.
Yeah, I understand. Well, that's only right. That's only right. And you know, once again, by you being on the city council, you've seen a lot more things. You learned a lot more, you know, about the city, what's going on, how people feel about things, and you hear from both sides. You know, and I know it's sometimes going to be like a little bit frustrating.
It's important for me to be accessible to people, not just in my district, but throughout the city. I want to be approachable, responsive, because going in, I had no experience when it came to serving on a city council. So I imagined what I wanted, what I expected from my city council member, and that's what I try to emulate.
Yes.
And so I think with that being said, I've gotten a good response, from people.
I've
and
never heard anything bad about you.
well,
Yes, whenever when I first met him, like it happened to be for like an event for the Instituto at the Post, and they brought me on to do the signage and stuff and just kind of keep the morale. I got Tina to come.
Yeah.
I brought Mr. Wendell,
Yeah.
and like you were very inviting, and I'm very vivacious, so I'm either bombarding to most people, it's a love-hate thing, or they don't really care for me. You know what I mean? Everyone there was like super chill, and then you came in to the office. He sent us some good connections, I guess.
Yeah.
And then it was like the day you came in, I went to the Corpus Christi
The downtown
downtown management district,
Yeah.
and his magazine
Yeah.
was sitting right there, and I was like, ah, and she's like, do you want it? And I was like, yes, and I have it in my office because you're gonna sign it for me. But you know, you just like were very inviting. You didn't make me feel like we couldn't speak about something, or that, you know, we couldn't help each other. You always like had that open window, like, hey, if you need anything, like, let me know.
And when I heard that, when she said that, I said, well, can we get her mind?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I when I say it, I actually mean it.
Yeah,
You know,
he
if I
does
can
mean
help
it.
with
He
that, then
does.
That's, you know, I'm, you know, my time on city council is coming into an end this year, but my
6 months left.
5 or 6 months left. Yeah, but you know, I've got this office for a short amount of time, and my goal has been to do as much good as I can in the community with this office while I have it.
Well, I really do appreciate your time coming now. Now, we got some lightning round questions that we're going to ask you. You can plead the fifth on them if
All
you
right.
want. How many questions is it, Jennifer?
They're fast paced.
Fast pace, you know. So
And they're real questions. It's not about office.
yeah. So,
There might
Right?
be a couple I might skip over
Okay,
and tell
all
you
right.
later what they were. but-
Okay.
yeah. Go right ahead.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
What is your favorite color?
Blue.
Have you ever been arrested?
No.
Dogs or cats?
Dogs.
Baseball or football?
Football.
Where are your car keys?
My pocket.
Who is your favorite comedian?
Wendell.
Beef or chicken?
Beef.
What's your favorite drink?
Water.
Circumcised or uncircumcised? He's turning red.
Pass.
Pass.
Chocolate or strawberry?
Chocolate.
Naughty or nice?
Both.
Red or blue?
Blue.
Chinese or Mexican?
Oh. Man, that's a toss-up. I like them both. Mexican, I guess.
Toilet paper or bidet?
Toilet paper?
Vodka or whiskey?
No comment.
Flies or mosquitoes?
Ugh. I hate them both equally.
Yeah.
Solid, liquid, or gas?
The fourth one, plasma.
Hot or cold?
Hot.
Top or bottom?
Depends on the situation.
Popcorn or pickles?
Popcorn.
Chicken nuggets or french fries?
French fries.
Bananas or apples?
Apples.
How old is Mr. Wendell?
He's about my age.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
That wasn't so bad.
Thank you very much. You know, well, I want to appreciate you and thank you for coming and everything. I really do. I really do
Thank you very
appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody for listening. You know, once again, Felicia, you want to give a shout out to anybody?
Yes. Ben, thank you for coming. Thank you for coming again.
Thank you.
Like, time is valuable.
Yeah.
It's very, you know, it's priceless. So giving somebody your time,
time,
is
yeah,
Yes.
just
yeah.
a momentous
That's what I-
thing for
yeah.
us. So I really, really appreciate it.
Well, thank you.
Jennifer, who you want to give a shout out to?
My mom.
All right, there you go. Your mom.
I love her.
Okay. Ben, how about you?
Shout out to the citizens of Corpus Christi
Yes.
for allowing me to do what I do.
All right. And I want to give a shout out to everybody and let you know my name is Mr. Wendell, and I'll see you when I'm looking at you. Toodaloo.
Hello.
Goodbye.